99 games played.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
I have like 2 J weapons already.
Dang.
No, but I've been playing this game since it came out. I hit GM for the first time I remember season 5 or Overwatch 1.
Uh-huh.
But, I just felt like I've been stuck for a long, long while now. I stopped playing when Overwatch 2 came out. Well, season 2 I played, I peaked GM 2. And then, I don't know, I just don't know. I really, really want to become better. I wanted to be like on the top. Not because I like to get into esport and things. It's like I just want to be on the top to feel that I'm really good to compete against other really good people.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's like you feel like you've been around for a while, but you've plateaued and maybe plateaued for quite a long time.
Yes.
Okay. Now, obviously, plateau is relative. I think one of the tricky things about improvement is that the higher percentage you get, the higher up you go, the harder it is, because the people at that level are also already giving it their full, right? Yeah. So you have to give that much effort and then a little bit more. But I actually think the most important thing when you're plateaued is, for lack of a better description, self-awareness.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty easy to say, like, what's going to help a bronze player get better? You tell me.
Anything, honestly.
Right. Play, idiot. Just anything. Yeah. It could be anything. I mean, it's going to be really, really basic stuff, right? But then you could probably see where I'm going with this, where it's like the more and more you go up, I wouldn't say it becomes more complicated. I actually don't think it becomes more complicated. I think it becomes more challenging because in many ways the improvement process becomes more psychological. So when I'm working with like a hardstuck grandmaster player versus a hardstuck bronze player, bronze player is usually stuff like, they're scared of playing ranked, or they have an EDPI of 17,000 trillion, or they have a massive hero pool. But when I work with hardstuck GM or masters players, it's usually something like, might be a mentality problem, might be a tilt problem, might be the way that they approach the game. They don't self-review. They're inconsistent. They burn themselves out frequently with the way. It becomes usually a little bit more nuanced. So I guess I'm going to start this review full out. What's your problem? You tell me. What are your guesses?
I think like my aim is pretty good. It's just that sometimes I have like no clue where to position myself. And really I think my positioning is like the worst. And like where to really be placed at, where I should go. Sometimes you find me just sitting in like the most random spot ever, just going full Kovacs on people.
Right. Now the question is why have you not fixed it?
I've been looking. I don't know actually. I've been focusing. I've been trying this like only focusing on like I play like 5 games and like I play for a whole day only focusing on positioning.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't know. It's just I think my mental. I think is wrong with it because if I ask my friends for help, they tell me something. I was like, oh yeah, like that makes sense, and I play like the way they told me to, and like, this feels amazing, but then I slowly falls back to my old habits. Like I can't really break my own habits, and it's like I learned something new, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, and I start playing like that, and it's like, oh, this is such a big like. I remember, like recently, I was stuck in. I fell down to diamond, and then a friend of mine who is a GM player. He helped me a little bit, like, oh, you need to like, I think like my problem was that I think too much, or like I'm too comfortable with the game, that I've been playing this game so long that I basically autopilot way too comfortable, that I sometimes just need to slow down with my thinking, and just like every time I do something I need to really think about it. And when I did that, it went really well. I like won like 11 games in a row. It felt like I was back in my peak again, but then it's like after a few days, I slowly went back to my old habit again. I just don't know how to stay.
So you see what we're doing, though, right? We're unearthing things, right?
Yeah.
You say it was your positioning is a problem, and then you're like, well, no, actually, it's my mentality. Wait, no, actually, it's my ability to focus on new things and stay. So, but this is good. This is what you need to do. But the challenge obviously is not just diagnosing the problem; it's actually fixing the problem. So let's dig a little bit deeper into the surface level. Okay, I know that's a little bit ironic, but okay. What about your positioning? Have you been trying to fix?
Because I play like so I've been trying with more soldier because I really like playing soldier and sojourn. So I've been trying to force myself to like feel uncomfortable almost. Like on soldier, I take like this ridiculous off angles. On like I limit test the shit out of myself, like trying to get these off angles just to see. I start to feel like if I'm the more uncomfortable I am, the better it is. I feel like.
And uncomfortable in what way? Like what feels not wrong, but what feels off?
That is like I'm not here. Like I usually not this like this far angle or like this deep in.
So you're saying that your autopilot, the things that you usually do, are not as aggressive off angles.
No, I think like when I autopilot, I usually sit there and just like either follow you or like autopilot following the team or just hang around. I don't know.
So that's very important that you're aware of it. My weakness is that I tend to move into this habit when I need to be building this habit. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else come to mind with positioning? That's a big one.
Not really knowing where to be sometimes. So like if I don't really know where to be, I just default to my like behind line or anything.
That's a big one too. Let's actually be taking notes of this right here. So autopilot or conservative angles needs to force more aggressive angles with sojourn is uncomfortable. Also, what did you just say? Oh, also, when unsure of what angle to take, experimentation doesn't come naturally.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. Anything else with positioning? Those are two big ones.
No, not really what I can think about.
Sounds good. Now, I'm going to expand this beyond positioning. We're going to dig a little bit deeper. Is there any other skill that you feel like that is important, maybe a skill that you used to have or that you've worked at in the past, or you feel that is important that hasn't stuck to any extent that you feel like you need to be working at or you feel is a weakness of your gameplay?
That's what actually don't know.
Okay, maybe we'll look at that in your review.
Yeah.
Now, here's the honest question for you. Why do you struggle so hard to keep these concepts in your mind over the course of not one day? Because obviously you said that you were able to do it pretty consistently, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. That's pretty good. Like, that's fine. But the real question, why not tomorrow? What happens?
I honestly don't know. I've been thinking, I don't know, because I struggle a lot with ADHD.
Yep.
I've been thinking maybe it's that thing, because I think it's I haven't done ADHD medication since like I'm 23 now, and I stopped taking them when I was like 12. Because usually back then it was like I didn't want to be dependent on medication.
Of course.
It usually affected me so much. And I've been trying to leave my coffee addiction.
Okay, let's talk about that. Talk to me about your coffee addiction.
So I started doing coffee because I felt like, when I drank one cup of coffee, I could really focus and my aim was really up and like everything just felt much better. But there was like, that was the dangerous part about it, because then I kind of fell into this hole that I can't play if I don't have my coffee in me. And then the coffee tolerance kicks in as well. Like, you need to drink more coffee to feel the kick. And I end up, drinking coffee. I've been drinking coffee probably like, 6 years now. And it became so horrible that, like, if I didn't drink coffee, I will like become more irritated and I will tilt much more easily, like much easier. Even though I'm the guy that like never tilts.
Yeah, I'm seeing that in your form.
Yeah, like I never tilts, and then, but all of a sudden, like if I'm out, like if I don't have my coffee in me, I just all of a sudden start tilting. And if the coffee withdrawal, you give massive headaches, and I think it's all that. It started becoming so bad that I need to drink like 7 shots of espresso just to feel something.
Ooh.
And when you come to that kind of point, you're like, this is way too much,
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
Recently I've been trying to stay away from it. It sounds like a alcoholic. I've been clean for 3 days.
I mean, it is, right? I don't
Yeah.
think people take it seriously enough. There's a few addictions that I don't think people take seriously enough, and caffeine is one of them.
Yeah, because I'm Swedish as well. We have this kind of like coffee, like culture in Sweden.
Yeah.
And that we usually drink coffee. Like we have something called fika, where like in the middle of the day we take a cinnamon bun and drink a cup of coffee, and that's like completely normal.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this like I've been struggling with that. I know that I think the coffee is like good, but it's like really really bad if you let it go out of control.
That's it exactly, right? In moderation, it's fine. Caffeine is useful and it's a helpful supplement. But exactly. So, let's talk a little bit about caffeine withdrawal and what you need to be doing. So, the big thing, I linked an article, and you probably know all this stuff, but let's actually form an actionable plan. Is varying your caffeine intake is the key thing when it comes to caffeine withdrawal, and then just having a day or two frequently, or even a week over, just where you don't do anything, just to allow yourself to actually benefit from the supplement, and then also to not be as reliant on it. The key thing is actually doing that and being okay with not performing at your best for a series of days.
Yeah.
So what would be a good approach for you? Have you done this or tried this before?
Yes, I think I brute force a lot of my things I do. Like if I want to do something new or I try to change something about myself, I usually brute force this. So like coffee, like I haven't drank coffee for like 3 days now, and I have this like today when I was playing, I have this like big like what's it called, brain fog. Fog. That,
Today?
like, yeah, today.
Okay.
I think it's like recently, like I don't know, for like I remember like last week when I was on coffee, my aim was like amazing, and it was like doing really good. But after I played, but when I was on the coffee, I was playing. My aim was probably as the best as it ever has been.
Yes.
But I can only play for like maybe 8 hours, and then I will crash and I will like fall asleep or just anything. So I only had like 8 hours on me, then I completely crashed.
Well, I mean, 8 hours is a long time.
I know, but no, like
you say only 8 hours, like it's only $1 million. So like, well, that's a long time.
Yeah. No, I think it's I usually I can sit down and play. I usually play Overwatch like 12 hours a day, and then like with me it's like completely fine. It doesn't really affect me mentally. I don't really tilt. I usually get like exhausted at the end of it, but that's obviously.
It's funny.
Coffee,
can I pause you really fast here? Actually, finish your thought. Finish your thought.
No, like when I was on the coffee, I can focus a lot more, but only 8 hours, or like 6 to 8 hours, and then I crashed and I couldn't focus at all.
Makes sense. You say that like you're fine with playing 12 hours a day because it doesn't. You don't really tilt. You don't really boom. You're fine. Okay.
Yeah.
But think about what we've been conversing about for the last 15 minutes. You have problems, right?
Yeah.
Your problems, what you're saying is you're like, oh, I don't have a problem with my health. I'm not fat, or I'm relatively muscular. And then I ask you, how's your sleep? How's your, well, I had to be the heart, I had to go to the sleep doctor and I've been really struggling with congestion. I've been having like heart palpitations. Mate, you're not healthy. Just because you're muscular doesn't mean you're healthy. There's like different sides of health. There's different sides of performance. And right now your performance is struggling. You're not tilting or angry. It doesn't mean that you have a healthy relationship with the game right now.
Yeah. I'm just kind of just there.
Right. And I would be reevaluating the way that I'm applying myself to the game based off of the information that we have you play this much, that you have this caffeine struggle, and specifically that you're struggling to pick up new skills.
Yeah.
So what's the solution for you? Let's start with a playtime. How could that be addressed into a more healthy, more functional, and more productive way? And now, actually, let me ask you one more question before we do that. There's a lot to unpack here, okay? You say that you brute force new skills and win new problems. How successful are you with that?
Not that much, I think. I think
Okay.
that's like a weakness that like sometimes I think it's like sometimes I brute force it. It's like it feels amazing for like 3-4 games. I think probably it's like there's something new, so it feels something like it feels
Sure.
amazing because it's something new.
Sure.
I think
What
it's
about
like
what about brute forcing things that are not Overwatch related? You talked about the caffeine. I just go cold turkey
Yeah.
immediately. How successful are you with that outside of Overwatch? Just different things. What other things have you brute forced before? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm trying to think of it. Or like other coffee then I think no. It's like
Mhm.
I feel like that I feel pretty successful because I'm trying to like force myself away from it. But of course all the withdrawal syndrome is coming, so it's like I'm completely like I have massive headaches. I have this like brain fog and I feel like I'm getting more tilted even though I usually don't.
Mhm.
But I'm working more like I know that in a month or 2 months that this all things that I have a problem with the caffeine is gonna be gone now if I don't drink any coffee now. I'm like thinking of the goal mostly.
Will you make it?
Yes, I think so, yes.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I sit there like if I know like if it's like a big problem I have now, if I know that in a month it's gonna be completely fine, then why not just go for it, you know?
Yeah. If you can do that, then do it.
Yeah.
If you fail, what do you do now?
I have no idea honestly.
Okay. Let me give you a suggestion. If brute force doesn't work, you fail. Start small, stick with it. That's my general recommendation for most people. Because most people
That
don't
makes
have the
sense.
willpower to do that.
Yeah.
Not because they're weak willed, but because they haven't practiced building up that ability to just abstain. That takes
Yeah.
that is very hard to do. And it takes something that you actually have to practice. So if you struggle with your caffeine withdrawal and addiction or whatever, what I would recommend is, well, okay, how would you start small? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Let's say you fail tomorrow. You unload 5 Red Bulls down your gullet and you play Overwatch for
Yeah.
17 hours straight. What do you do?
I think I will just try to lower the doses.
Okay.
Like you say, like instead of drinking like 7 cup of coffee, I will start with 5 cup of coffee,
Mhm.
and I will only drink that for a
Mhm.
certain amount, and then I will bring it down to 2 cup of coffee, and
Sure.
I will slowly bring down the doses until like I'm only on like 1, and then I can just stop it honestly from 1.
Right. I'm not an addiction expert, but I'm sure with caffeine that would be doable. And I will throw in one more suggestion as well. I would have one day where I would not do any caffeine at all, at least
Okay.
1 day per week. 1 day per week we do
Oh,
no
yeah.
caffeine at all.
That makes sense. Okay.
And see how that goes. And just so can maintain your ship if this is how you want to handle it. Go for it. And then what will be your relationship with caffeine once you are cold turkey? Once the withdrawal goes away?
I think like I want to keep away from it, but I think I'm gonna use it for like very specific in a scenario. Say like if I have to do something important work, and I know that, say like if I play with a team and we're gonna do like we're gonna have one tourney, then I'm probably gonna take like a half a cup of coffee just to boost my coffee, like my everything a little bit more, just for that moment, and then that's it. Like only like situational areas.
Yep.
Situational.
I would put some thought into that now. Come up with a plan. Whether that's a daily cup, once a week I have nothing, right? Whether that's the situation that you just described to me, put some thought into it now.
I feel like I'm afraid I'm gonna fall back to the old habit again. That if I do start doing it, then I was like, oh, well, now I need to do it again because I need to be focused.
Sure, of course, there's that chance, right? Of course, there's that chance. But look at where you're at right now. You're already better now than you were 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's like with me, I'm very like, if I don't want to do something, I don't do it. If I really want to do something, I really do it. Like I don't really have any I don't really second thought anything.
Mm-hmm.
So like, with my caffeine, like I've been drinking coffee for like 7 years, and like 3 days ago I was like, no, that's it, and I usually quit. It's like that. It's like I think the frustration built up in me. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
So now you
That
just
kind
need
of
a plan for what's going to happen moving forward.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really thought that long.
I would think about it right now. Not right
Yeah.
right now, Al, but that would put that as a priority.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your gameplay.
Yes.
12 hours a day, maybe not every day, but frequently. Lots and lots and lots and lots of Overwatch. Is that all ranked?
That is all ranked.
Okay. How do you think a professional Overwatch League player trains?
I think they play a lot. At the same time, they do VOD review.
Mhm.
They think about what they need to do to, work on.
Mhm.
Like they go into a game or like a session,
Mhm.
knowing already what they need to work on
Mhm.
instead of just gaming. I
Mhm.
think my problem is that I'm trying to find this like, okay, I need to go into just focusing on this,
Mhm.
but I autopilot way too fast,
Mhm.
or like start doing other things way too fast that
Mhm.
I kind of lose focus. So I think I just end up playing just because playing.
Why do you think it's so easy for you to just play to just play? Why do you think that's such a big problem for you?
I honestly don't know. I think it's like this game is almost like a comfort game. Like it feels. I just really love playing the game,
Mhm.
and yes, this is one thing as well. I will change of thought, but I'm addicted trying to get better stuff. I've always been really competitive.
Mhm.
I just want to be the best, and
Mhm.
I have this like when I'm not playing the game or not trying to focus on being better at something, I get this like kind of anxiety building up on me. Like I don't wanna take a break and sit down doing anything else because I start feeling anxiety. Like I start feeling worried. Like, oh fuck, I don't like this. I need to play. So I have this like this kind of like anxiety or like worrying building up to me when I'm not playing the game or focusing on something.
Does this only happen with Overwatch, or do you do other things as well?
I think that happens with everything
What else?
in my life. Like
Name it.
with my driver license, like if I'm not focusing on that, I'm gonna get worse, and I get worried about that. Or my job.
Sure.
I work in like a restaurant managing area. I
Yeah.
manage restaurant, and I like if I don't, it's like, oh fuck man, we have a new menu we have planned out, and if I don't sit down and try to like pairing wine together with our like the food we have, I'm gonna start getting worried. And I was like, man, I need to do more research. I need to do more things. I need to look up things.
Let me tell you.
I'm
Let me tell you. Go. No, finish your thought. Finish your thought.
I like yeah. I'm a very like I don't know what the word is, but like I love to study. So like whatever it happens with my life, I usually sit down and study instantly.
Hmm.
I remember like our work, like the work we went to a go-kart session together with work, and like we drove around one lap together. We took a long break, and the first thing I did is just scroll into internet and just look up how to become faster on go-kart, reading articles and reading like racing car drivers how they are driving everything.
I'm gonna
So I
have to
have
show my session to my wife because you know who this sounds just like.
what?
This is me, mate. This is me. This is literally me to a T. This is hitting uncomfortably close to me. The
Yeah.
go-kart story. Like I want to be better at everything. I love researching everything. I have to do
Yeah.
everything. There's no wasted time in a day. Wait, Pepper,
No,
is this not me? She's shaking her head at me. But I have to like obsessively apply myself to everything.
Yeah, that is who I am. And
Yeah.
if I don't do it, I start feeling worried and I get anxiety attacks. I was like,
Yes.
man, I don't like this. I need to do something.
I understand. I understand. And that is a very powerful mentality to have. You could accomplish a lot of great things with that mentality.
Yeah.
But this is where I have spent a lot of time, I think the last year and a half learning this, especially since Overwatch, like trying to learn this, is that I have learned that not only does it make me a more anxious and stressful person if I feel like I have to be performing and learning and doing things all the time, but this is the most important thing. And you will know this because this directly translates to your Overwatch experience, especially recently. It's you will compromise your ability to perform at tasks if all you do is perform tasks.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Sort of.
If all you do is play Overwatch, you will not play Overwatch well.
I'm trying to understand.
When you're trying to perform well at Overwatch, you talk to me about those 10, 11 games where you performed really well. How long did it take you to do that, those 10 or 11 games? How many hours?
What was that? Tell me, I was like 3 hours, I think. 4.
Sure. Full focus, right?
Yeah.
What about after those hours? What happened then?
Then the focus disappears because.
And so what's the point of playing?
Oh, that's true, actually. Then I think that's like where the comfort zone come in. That
Right.
if I don't play, then I feel useless.
You need to come into the game with an energy and focus, not just a discipline, like I got to try hard, but like a desire that I want to do this. I enjoy doing this. I have energy to do that. And then when that energy and focus is spent, there's no more point training at that point in time.
Yeah.
And that's where this is where I've actually been cutting down on my coaching sessions. I used to do when I first got into coaching, back from coaching Overwatch, like starting up my coaching business again. I was doing around 21, 22 sessions a week because I had to.
Yeah.
It was a lot, but I had to. I had to make bills,
Yeah.
And then as my YouTube and Twitch income is still kind of pathetic, but it's gone up by a little bit. I've been able to cut down on my sessions slightly, and it's been really funny to watch the general quality of my sessions go up. I can see it. I can feel it. And I get into a call. I'm not like, oh gosh, it's my third, fourth call of the day, and I've had to do this, and then I had to do my editing. I feel more energetic and more focused and more excited to coach.
Yeah.
And I feel the quality go up. And that doesn't mean that I spend time wasting time, right? I go for walks, I read books, I apply myself really hard to board games, I study. But I had to, number one, mix up what I'm doing. Number two, I had to have goals. But number three, and this is something that you might be missing, I had to give myself a break. There had to be certain things that I did every day, which were the only purpose for doing that was just because it was fun to do.
Yeah.
It was fun to do. And Overwatch can be that for you. But you're going to have to find a way between this is hard work training time and this is when I'm just playing Overwatch for fun, brain is off. And if you don't know how to do that or you cannot do that, then you need to stop playing Overwatch during your playtime and do something else.
Yeah. No, I've realized that sometimes let's say after 12 hours of playing, I was like, man, this was a long play. I went 50-50. It's been up and downs. I log off Overwatch. And then it's I sit there. I was like, okay, what do I do now? Because, I try to have a consistent sleep schedule. That I wake up at 8 o'clock, eat breakfast, and then 9 o'clock I start playing.
Yeah.
And I go to sleep around maybe 11 or 10.
Right.
So usually when there's 3 hours left after I'm done playing Overwatch for the whole day, I was like, okay, I don't know what to do now. And I boot up Doom internal. The thing is, when I do that, I still just focusing on aim and everything else. I still play I need to improve on Doom.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I do think the variety of focus is a fun thing. For me, I will finish coaching and then I'll go work really hard at some complicated board game with Pepper or whatever. We'll just grind at it. And I actually don't find that too upsetting. I do find that fairly relaxing. I don't mind thinking more. But I do think that a certain percentage of your day needs to be devoted to just nothing.
Taking a chill pill. Yeah.
Taking a chill pill. And crucially, this is the problem with, this is a society moment, Joker moment here, is that those chill moments are always consumed by what? You tell me.
Media.
Right? Yeah. First thing that people do is they pull up YouTube or they pull out their phone every single time.
Yeah.
So you got to find something to replace that. I take walks. I really highly recommend taking walks. I like reading books. I will This is the most boomer thing I've ever said in my life, but this week it's been warm enough to where I'm actually going to have to mow the grass this weekend, and I'm kind of excited. Because this is why I'm excited. Okay, because it's not just like, oh, mowing the grass is fun. I mean, it's whatever. It's outside time. It's fresh air. It's nice, But the big thing for me is it's just quiet. It's obviously not really, literally quiet, but it's just there's nothing going on. So I sit there, and you know what I do for an hour? I think. I let my brain go. I let my brain wander. I process emotions. I think of ideas. I think of I might even think about work for an hour, right? But you know what? That means that I'm gonna what it does is when I think about work for an hour, then when I'm done mowing, problems are solved. Everything's fixed. I feel like my quality of work goes up so much when I give myself time to just think and not do. I never get the time to actually process any of the new things or new ideas. We might talk about some stuff today, and you might just need to go walk or do something like clean the house, mow the lawn, I don't know, throw some rocks, lift some weights, just take a nap, just think. That's why I think you ever heard the term shower thoughts before?
Yeah.
There's a reason why that's a thing, right? There's nothing to do.
There's nothing to do. Yeah.
There's nothing to do. So what does your brain go? Your brain's like, finally, I can actually just wander, and you need to give yourself that time. So I'm kind of throwing a mixed bag at you. Let's take some notes here. I recommend quiet time every day. Walk, yard work, cleaning, showering, anything that gives your brain space to think. I also recommend quiet, fun hobbies other than Overwatch.
Yeah, I'm going to show you something.
Sure.
Yeah.
And to be really clear, by the way, even something like Doom is okay. I know you're thinking about your aiming and stuff like that. That's fine. It's not Overwatch. No, you're not going to get mad at yourself if you mess up on Doom that much. It's a PvE game, right? I actually find myself, I exclusively avoid PvP games when I'm really tired or stressed. Yeah. I almost always do PvE. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, yeah. I just want to show, I made a, sounds so weird. I made a schedule for myself.
Yeah.
So how I'm gonna play Overwatch throughout the day, and this was basically my schedule I made just for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, I didn't get the time. Wait.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I see what I need to see.
Yeah. And you see that I try to do every day. I study something else, but I'm gonna be honest with you. This schedule has not worked with me.
Why not?
The thing is, I do I start I waking up, eating food, and stuff. I that thing's consistent, and when I go to sleep. But in between, playing comp, I try really hard to play comp, but that it goes really well. But when it comes to study, it gets I try to sit down and study something. Sometimes I get bored of studying and I just move on.
Oh, I'd get bored too.
Yeah, if I sit down and try to read and read some about read.
How many hours is your study block right there? The purple block or the reddish?
That's 1.5 hours.
Oh, wow! And this is what after preparing for what to train 30 minutes earlier in the day or an hour early in the day or?
Oh, well, I can send you. It's no, the time is stupid actually when I think about it. I think it's 4 hours. Wait.
No, I can see here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have 30 minutes and then an hour and a half. I mean, duh. I wouldn't be able to stick with this. This is more studying than Overwatch League players do most of the time.
Yeah. The thing is, yeah. And so I basically, my thing was okay, I play comp, do my regular thing, warm up, do things, take a food break, study what this week is, and then I play only for the things I studied. It worked maybe for a week. Sometimes I jump back to this thing and do the same thing, but usually I just skip the study and just go full on comp rest of the game after the food break.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. You need to make some adjustments to this. This is way too much study. This is way too much Overwatch. Let me tell you a funny story. So, do you know the name Shu from Overwatch, the Overwatch League player?
Yeah. I
So-
that name.
Yeah, Shu was considered one of the greatest players in Overwatch League history and one of the top 2 or 3 support players in Overwatch League history. He's a phenomenal player, phenomenal Baptiste, phenomenal Zenyatta, phenomenal Ana. Been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So Shu is actually pretty famous for, this might be a rumor, but I'm pretty sure this is the case. He doesn't actually play ranked during the season much at all.
Mm-hmm.
What he does is he does his scrims, his 2 scrims, he does his VOD review, and that's it. And he's great. He's one of the greatest. That's it. That's 4 hours. 4 hours of playing Overwatch, 1 hour of review, probably. That's all he does.
That feels like unheard. That feels like weird to me.
Yeah. But you know why he's the greatest? Because when he plays, he is dialed in to a level that most of us just can't get to or don't know how to get to. That's it. Do that.
Maybe
Aim for that.
That I think you're right though, because like probably like 80% of my games throughout the day is just gonna be mostly autopilot because
That's it. That's it.
because it's like so much processing throughout all the games. It's like impossible to keep track of everything.
How many
And
streamers do you know that stream for 8 and 9 hours a day that are really good at Overwatch?
Oh god, I don't know.
That are Overwatch League level.
Overwatch League. Oh. Super? No. Yeah, super. I guess. I don't know, I don't
Maybe
really-
super, right? Maybe super, right? Overwatch League experience, right? But you kind of see
Yeah.
what I'm saying, right? These guys play all day long. Why aren't they Overwatch League level?
Oh god, wait. Can you repeat that?
If why they're playing all day long, why aren't they Overwatch League level?
Oh god, I don't know. I have no idea. Is it
Twitch chat.
because
Twitch chat.
Twitch. Oh yeah, they're focusing more on
Twitch chat.
content and
Yeah. And not only that, but the length of time with which they stream is oftentimes a hindrance rather than anything else. Remember, we're not talking about bronze players.
yeah,
If bronze players streamed Overwatch all day long, they wouldn't be bronze. It'd be plat, diamond. The problem is the people need to understand what got you to a certain level in the first place is not the most efficient way to improve permanently.
yeah,
Like you could go into the gym and just start lifting random weights for like 3 hours almost every day, and you would get muscle. But at some point it would just stop working, and you wouldn't
Yeah.
know why, because you're doing too much, right? So my recommendation for you is you need to find something else that you enjoy and apply yourself to it. Not just
Okay.
so that you can get good at something else, but so that you can take the energy, apply it to Overwatch efficiently, more efficiently than what you're doing right now, and then still have something that you can apply that brain to elsewhere. Your brain needs variety. Let's bring back the whole concept of the Renaissance man or woman. You know,
Yeah.
Let's bring that back. Let's stop being. If you want to chase expertise in multiple things, and then also just give yourself time to rest, relax, and sleep, so that you can have even more energy to go back into that talent later on.
yeah,
That's the goal. That's the goal here. So what we've done here is we've looked through and we've pointed out some issues with your training time,
yeah.
with your training intensity, with caffeine
Yeah.
intolerance, and you wonder why you struggle with autopilot.
If I
Right?
if I take a step back, and it's pretty obviously why I autopilot so often.
Of course, it's physically not possible not to autopilot. You would probably have to be abusing Adderall to be able to make
Yeah.
yourself not autopilot, right? Like, and that is obviously going to have some serious physical and mental long-term consequences.
Yeah.
Because it's your body's not designed to do that. You're not designed to be fully engaged, full focus 12, 13 hours a day. I mean, there's a reason why people like coal miners just drop dead at the age of 40, besides the toxins and stuff like that. It's because running that level of a risk for that long of a time, it's just exhausting. It will beat you it will grind you into dust, you know?
Yeah.
And I've been there with Overwatch League, and I freaking was miserable at half season because the 3 block a days plus the review before and after, 9, 10, 11 hours of not just work, but really hard, focused, intense work. it was miserable after
Yeah.
a couple of months. So I'd be cautious, be very, very cautious, and be efficient. Now, again, here we talked about how you tend to brute force things. How would you
Yeah.
approach this problem? What is your initial? I want you to think more about this, but at least what is your initial gut reaction?
Hmm. that I need to like cut down. Let's say like I can spend the first few hours like in the morning is
Mhm.
for myself. Doing everything else is like trying to wake up naturally instead of like force wake up.
Okay.
That like if I sometimes if I sleep 8 hours, sometimes I wake up very nice, and sometimes I wake up horrible, like on the wrong
Okay.
side of. But I just sit down and play Overwatch anyway. I should just let myself like wake up naturally
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and say eat some good breakfast, like maybe go for a walk or run in the
Mm-hmm.
morning because I love running.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sit down. I can play like maybe like 3 hours or something. That's it. If it goes bad or not, then this shit happens.
Yeah.
But then I can actually spend a lot more hours doing other things, like actually like maybe doing VOD review. Maybe I can
Sure.
take a food break and watch like a replay of mine or something.
Sure.
And I can take it in instead of like, and then I can maybe even take like a 6 hours rest where I don't do anything, and then I go back playing
Sure.
Overwatch.
How's your social life? If you don't mind me asking.
Right. Oh, well, I don't really have a social life like where I live at the moment. Well, I
Uh-huh.
have my online friends. I have a girlfriend who is online.
Yep.
Been together for, was it 5 years now? Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Lean into that. Lean into that. And I would encourage you to try at least once a week to try and get out, see family, friends, something like that.
Yeah.
There's time now,
Yeah. And I've been usually, well, where I live, it's like a dead town in winter and summertime. I live in like a beach town,
Mm.
like a boat island. But it's like basically a city with a bunch of like islands where people have to take boats around to live.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
what is it, Venice?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you can say, but it's a very tiny town. It's not like a big one. It's very tiny.
Yeah.
But in the winter time, there's no one here because it's usually only just like summer vacation houses.
Mm.
But in summer, this place is packed.
Oh, I can imagine. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do what you can. Again, we don't necessarily need to brute force everything. So,
Yeah.
don't need to be walking up to random strangers every day, but I think some social connection is meaningful. And so you don't need me to sit here and preach and tell you exactly like how you need to be translating this into action. But yeah, go ahead.
No, but like, I don't know. It's just that I've been so focused for Overwatch for such a long time. It feels a bit like unnatural to do anything else at this point.
Yeah. I understand that. But remember that we talked about there's a lot of dangerous addictions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not just caffeine that we're talking about now. So keep that in mind. In mind. You might have withdrawal symptoms like, oh, I need to be applying myself. I need to be playing Overwatch. So what do you do when you have, what do they say what is it, the cigarette addiction? They make you chew gum instead, So what you need to do is you need to go, okay, well, I have this urge to play more and more and more Overwatch, and I've already done my hard training time. Don't just sit there and be like, I'm not going to do it. Do something else. Take your mind and apply it somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's going to be. Go find out. Figure it out.
Maybe go to gym.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I've been thinking like, because my diet, like I've been trying to change my diet now. For the past 2 years, my diet has been probably horrible. I eat like pasta and chicken, and that's usually all I eat.
Could be worse, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't drink soda. I only drink water. So I'm
nice.
I'm happy with that.
And it's good.
I don't really like soda. I don't like candy. I eat chips maybe, but
yeah, you and me both. I don't really have much of a sweet tooth anymore. I just like hamburgers and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't have any like. I don't think like. I think because I have to take a lot of D vitamin pills now. Because I
Yeah.
have D
No sun.
deficiency. Yeah, no
Yeah.
sun, and
Yeah, I got you.
I had to take C vitamins as well and B vitamins because barely have anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like I've been trying to get into like eating more healthy,
Mm-hmm.
like into like putting more like eating breakfast now for the
Mm-hmm.
first time like years.
Mm.
So I eat like eggs, maybe a bowl of cereal, and a sandwich. That's like my breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And then I eat maybe I love making Thai wok food. So
Mm.
I put a lot of I put mushroom in. I put a bunch of vegetables, chicken, noodles, mix it up together with soy sauce.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's something else to do with your time. Get really good
Yeah,
at cooking new dishes and stuff like that. Like, there's so many things. You
yeah.
just have to try.
I think I think like I've been falling into this like old like this habit that I'm trying like okay I can't focus, but instead of like cutting back, I'm trying to find something that can increase my focus. I think that's why I fell into coffee,
Because it
and
works.
that's
That's the
yeah
thing.
because it
Is
works.
it
And
does.
now I don't know like the thing is now it's like a double edged sword that I fell into, or like not a double edged sword like it's like good and bad. Like I fell into like oh no, now I need to start eating healthy. I need to start sleeping well, and I need to like eat good, and I need to do exercising, and then my focus will go up.
Right.
But the thing is, I do still play the same amount.
Right.
So I
Right.
think like I'm on the right path,
Mm-hmm.
but I need to cut down something. The same thing with like my ADHD. I've been looking into trying to get Adderall again, but I don't know if I should or not.
I would say, I'm not a doctor here, but I would say give this a shot.
Yeah,
Give this a shot. Here's what I will say. Continue to apply yourself, learn new skills, all those kind of things. But I would say keep a careful eye on your obsessiveness. That like I have to always be applying myself to everything, even if it
yeah,
is productive, healthy things, right? Remember, it's okay to just do things for fun,
yeah,
just because you like it. You're a productive person. You apply yourself to things. Continue to do that, and then just have some time to think. Because I think with me, when I had a lot of issues with my sleep, and I've had a lot of issues with my sleep, it was actually worrying about my sleep that caused me to have issues with my sleep.
yeah. I know what you mean.
So be careful. Be careful with that. Moderation.
Yeah,
Moderation. And I think that like when we're talking about like your Overwatch issues and ranking up and improving at Overwatch, let's not forget that that's still something that this is why we're having this conversation, right?
yeah,
If you're able to apply yourself with 3 hours and good sleep, good healthy habits outside of Overwatch, with good goals of what you need to be improving on, opening up deeper off angles and so on, it's going to show in your gameplay. Might not show right away, but it will show.
quality over quantity.
That's it. That's it. Quantity matters, but only to a certain point. And then harsh diminishing returns kick in. And so it's all about quality over quantity. And I think especially for somebody like you who would like to be good at the game, but your livelihood isn't depending on it, you're not competing in OWCS, right?
No.
So it's not the end of the world if you're not spending 5 hours every day. Your goal is more to be finding fulfillment and satisfaction about learning a new skill rather than I have to be dominating, otherwise I'm not going to have a job.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so enjoy that luxury and just be good at Overwatch. Be great at
Yeah.
Overwatch, but don't feel the pressure that so many other people do.
Yeah, true.
Because I've worked with players that have similar mentalities to you, but it's a lot harder to talk down a player who's in the Overwatch league that they're playing too much and they need to play with better intensity because there's this fear of like, oh no, but I have to. I have too much to lose, right?
Losing the job and everything. Yeah.
And that's it, exactly. And so what it ends up doing is this really negative feedback loop. So you have that luxury, so enjoy that. In the same way that somebody like me I can sleep and not worry too much about, oh no, if I don't get enough sleep, then I won't be able to compete at a physical athlete level. A lot of the athletic stuff I do is just for fun. So if I don't, there's not as much pressure on me. Okay. Would you like to look at a couple of team fights?
Yeah.
Look at a couple of team fights. Yeah, there's something that I like to think of like the priority list, right? Where it doesn't matter what your understanding in game will be if you
Yeah.
don't have the foundation. So I'm glad we were able to talk about this. Shoot me a replay code.
Yeah. Wait, where is it? I think it was this one. This is
Got it.
like this match. I felt like I could like I did my things. I felt like I was doing good, but at the same time I was like clueless most of the times. Like I don't really know what to go
Sure.
and I don't really know what to do.
Right. So let's what the most important tip I'm going to give you this entire VOD review session, which will be very short. Type in your thing. When you don't know what to do, experiment. It's never an excuse. Not knowing, ignorance is never an excuse.
Yeah.
Try it. If you don't know what to do or where to go, try something out. Was this the point where you were confused, or were there other points?
I don't know. I think this is like something that's happening like on and off throughout the whole game. Like sometimes,
Got it.
I think we got too old there. I don't remember.
I would be holding the angle here. Don't chase the monkey. Hold the angle here, right? Keep the duel on the Hanzo. Maybe disengage back to this angle here and look to contest here, right?
Yeah.
You're giving this Hanzo this angle here, right? So you might be unsure of what angle to hold, but you need to experiment. Is this trolling? Is this feeding? Or is this good? You know?
This is good. Yeah.
Right? But if you're not sure, I want you to experiment. I don't want you to ever take, oh, I don't know it. That's not an answer.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I know what you mean.
Like even right now, you could be rotating much more aggressively. You could have taken this time to rotate either further right or further left. That's the biggest advantage of Soldier, is your ability to rotate to different angles quickly. Honestly, in many ways, even better than like a Tracer, because you could just constantly do it without being cooldown reliant.
Yeah.
You know? Because a Tracer can rotate quickly, but she also doesn't want to have to use her blinks to rotate quickly.
It's like here, like I don't really know where to go, so like this is.
Are you
this
putting-
is my?
Are you putting up good, consistent pressure from an angle?
I presume yes. Yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
Because the Anna has to leave, but like here's probably gonna be like my comfort zone. Like, oh, this is my default setting.
I mean, there's a difference between being complacent in terms of you need to be changing this. This is bad. You need to fix this problem, experiment, and figure it out. Versus this feels good, so keep doing it.
Yeah.
If it's good, there's no reason to stop doing it.
True.
But then he jumps you and it's not good. So then where should you go now?
Maybe do health pack for far right.
Sure. Go over here.
There.
Do it over here, right? And if you're not sure where to go, that's, again, remember, never an excuse. Figure it out.
Yeah,
Try
figure
something.
out-
Just try
do
it.
something.
Just try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. See how it goes. I don't like this. This is too much time spent on 2v1. Look for squishies instead. And what ends up happening is you end up losing the position entirely because you spent too much time shooting tank and too little time taking an angle where you could actually kill something.
Yeah.
And this is, I wouldn't say a consequence of your autopiloting, but it will be something that will manifest itself in autopiloting, because shooting tank is just kind of brainless. You know, it's just, you don't really have to fully engage to do that. But deciding where to rotate to and who you should be shooting and how to beat a Sojourner in a 1v1, that is impossible to be brainless. You have to be engaged, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of what's happening here is we're just kind of shooting and you know, should we rotate right? I don't know. Let's just kind of stay here, I guess. And, you know.
Not really doing anything. I'm just like.
Right. Sometimes you do the right thing, but it's by accident that ends up being the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's experiment more with your first point. I want to see what happens on first point here, because there aren't many options and choices with third point, so this should be simple in theory.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens when we give you more options. Oh my goodness, you guys capped quickly.
Oh yeah, this one we capped real quickly actually.
Is this the best angle you could be? Right. Now where could you rotate to?
I can go rotate far left actually.
Far left? This is fine. Just something to consider. And how do you approach this? Ooh, is this good or is this bad? When should you peek this?
I think now when the Sojourn Hanzo got
It's funny. It's never, like, the funny thing with focus is it's never ever fully black or fully white. You're never ever fully like not focused at all for an entire game.
Yeah.
And you're never fully focused for an entire game. Sadly, it's not possible, right? We all have our slips. So I could feel the energy here. You feel it?
Yeah.
You're on a flank. All of a sudden, you're locked in. Why? Because it's risky. There's risk here, right? There's risk. You're crouching. You're paying attention. Bam, you're locked in. I like that. That's good. Pursue those moments more. Not where you're pursuing unnecessary risk, but where you are making plays and you're finding up. I mean, this is great, right?
Yeah, like, I know what you mean. Like, when I feel like, if I feel I'm safe, like I don't really have any danger, I don't really have alertness up, and it's like
that's it.
I'm just like go full autopilot. I just need to aim, so I don't really need to be focused.
And that's it. And that's it. And that's it. And that doesn't always mean that that's bad. Sometimes if the position is good, we talked about this earlier here, you can autopilot all here, just hold here until you get pressured out. But that may not always be the best solution. Like, for example, right now, this position is fine, but now they're clearing off of high ground. This is a very difficult scenario because you're going to get cleared off, and where are you going to go? I know the answer, but do you know the answer?
No, I honestly, I think here I got so confused. I really don't really know where to go. I think left side.
So come up with a solution. Keep your brain engaged. What's the solution? How do you play? What do you do?
I probably would like go into the castle and go behind them, maybe.
That's it. That's it. You see that? There, yeah? This is your best option. This position is so bad. You can't see anything. It's terrible. So what you do is you drop and you sneak and you rotate. And then you won't even have to try to stay focused because you know what? This is risky. You'll have no choice but to be focused.
Yeah.
So when there isn't a low risk, medium reward play, we'll call it that, right? You have to pursue high risk, high reward. And so now you have to find, and you see you immediately go to like, well, I'm just going to sit here and,
don't really know what to do.
Yeah, you don't know what to do. So that's never an excuse.
Oh yeah. I just went right into it.
But this is insane. There's no brain engaged here at all. Like, you should die here. Right? No brain engaged at all. Right? There's no thought. There's no strategy. There's no sneak. There's no listening. There's no timing. Just brain off. Just run it down. And I bet your first thought was like, I don't even know if that was good or bad. I don't know. I guess go next fight.
I think I was just like, how did I not kill the BAP? That was like moment thought.
Oh, even worse. Even worse. Getting mad.
Like
this is insane. This is actually insane. What are you doing? You're shooting the first worm body that you see.
Yeah.
Now, this is fine with Visor. This is okay. This is like, you're going to get good value here, so just let it rip. Go. I would Visor this like immediately. Surprised you waited that long. You're busy playing Kovacs. Okay, let's stop there. When you don't want to know what to do, experiment.
Yeah.
When unsure, okay, pursue angles with some risk. Solve the problem. And if you can't solve it in the moment, try something, then go back and think about it later. Because that takes thinking too. That's going to make your 3 hours very, very... Treat your 3 hours like a crossword puzzle, that you got to figure it out. You got to plug and play until you got to figure it out, and then you're done. Any questions?
No, not really. I think this being actually a very info site.
Okay. I want you to keep me updated with how this stuff goes. I want you to remember you're thinking about your caffeine, you're thinking about your outside of Overwatch application, exercise, all that kind of stuff. I want you to keep me updated with how this stuff goes. And if any questions come up, just message me. All right?
Yes.